Hi everybody, we are here for the final of the 229th bi-weekly deathmatch between blockmonoid and tamesizeya, and we are about to start. So far tamesizeya had to defeat Smoku, Matkan, Jello, and Chanchi, and blockmonoid defeated Jamdalla, Sea Drake, Other, and High Jammer. So quite a difficult path for both of them. And so let's see. So tamesizeya starts with sailing and blockmonoid starts with mysticism. So personally, I think tamesizeya is ahead right now. So I would probably expect sailing to be activated. So he obtains tools and clothing. It's a good start, but blockmonoid obtained agriculture with the first use of mysticism. So I would expect him to meld agriculture now. At least that would be my... Yes, so now a lot depend on what tamesizeya has in his hand, because he knows that blockmonoid has a writing in hand. So generally speaking, I would say if he has a yellow or a purple, he should share. If not, maybe he should draw. But so he decides to share, and blockmonoid has to choose whether he will meld writing or the other card, which we don't know what it is. So probably he's considering whether he wants to play a red, or because between a green and a blue the difference would not be great. I mean, here the options are pottery or writing. So he goes for writing, and tamesizeya melts ores, which gives 2 points each. No, tamesizeya has a second action, and thanks to the share, I mean, if now he had so if he shares, he gets more points and block if he has a purple or a yellow. But the problem is then blockmonoid will achieve age 1. So, and I think age 1 is more or less blockmonoids right now. Unless, let's see, could delay, just draw. Blockmonoid has to draw 2. I mean, using clothing would give 4 points, but would give... Okay, so he decides to share ores so that block draws 1-1, and tamesizeya draws 2 tools. Now, I think this more or less means that blockmonoid will achieve 1 first, I think, unless he has no cards. I mean, if he has, I mean, they both have some information thanks to the cards in the score pile, so some educated guess can be made at this stage on what's in blockmonoid's hand for tamesizeya. So blockmonoid draws a 2. Now we will have to see if he decides to draw again or use agriculture on something. Tamesizeya could also use tools if he wanted. I'm not entirely sure that's reasonable. In general, one of the best moves to diffuse clothing is just to draw as much as possible. So he plays map making, which is nice because now he can potentially steal some of the ones. And makes it impossible for tamesizeya to achieve one immediately. So now the question is, does tamesizeya has more crowns or leaves to gain an advantage? So he plays pottery, and okay, so this means h1 will be for blockmonoid. If he so wishes, he can use map making, get 1 point and obtain 2 points. This will give him 3 points, and then he can achieve. Our question is if he has better alternatives. Of course, in the perspective of having pottery, clothing, and fermenting is a bit scary, because now tamesizeya can potentially draw a lot and start using pottery to score quickly, and map making will give some points now, but so I can see blockmonoid achieving 1 and 2, but I would bet my money on tamesizeya getting the third age probably. Here, more or less obvious option would be to use fermenting, which he does. And now, depending on, he can do it again or start using pottery to closing the gap. So he uses clothing to meld philosophy and score 2 points. Now, if he wanted, block could use map making, get 4 points, which is not enough to achieve, but with 1 extra use of agriculture next round he could do that. Yes, so he steals 1 point and it receives 3 as a bonus. Now, what can he do? I mean, mysticism could be an option. The other option is simply to draw. I guess it depends if he wants to, if he feels that he needs more. So he draws archery so that clothing becomes less effective. So tamesizeya now could, So he can still achieve 2 next round, but now tamesizeya can start accumulating points for h3, or he can draw more cards. So he goes for the points. So now he gets to 6. Next will be now he gets to 9. If blockmonoid decides to use agriculture, that's slightly annoying. So there will be a 1 in the bottom of the pile, so tamesizeya might be forced to return maybe 2 cards, not to score a 1, otherwise map making would give blockmonoid more points. So if I had to guess, I would say that blockmonoid will use agriculture, return the 1, and so now tamesizeya has to decide what's like if he wants to give a card to blockmonoid or not. Maybe one option is just to do nothing, let him achieve, and then so he returns to give less points, I presume. So now tamesizeya has 12 points, so he's almost ready for H. This gave a 3 to blockmonoid, which will now achieve, I presume. Yes. So now tamesizeya has to get rid of that 1, otherwise so one way to do that would be to use pottery and return 2 cards. He decides to just go for more points. This is not entirely sure this was a good idea, because now blockmonoid can use map making to get 4 points. tamesizeya will not be able to achieve, and then he can meld potentially the 3 or use mysticism, and unless there is it is possible that he has no, even medicine is not. Now he can meld the 3, or if he doesn't like it, he can use mysticism and meld a random card, which is what he does. So now he has alchemy. He will achieve 3. Potentially he can go to 4. Sort of a tough spot for tamesizeya now. Like he could use pottery twice, get to 20 points, and then achieve. Okay, he returns, so he gained 7 points now. He has a 4 in his hand, so he will achieve 4. Now, presume block should achieve as one of the 2 actions, and then he could use alchemy. hoping to get something like maybe navigation. Oh no, he goes for... This is a very nice draw, because now he can splay and pottery becomes less dominant. He's a bit behind on points, so... but he can also use alchemy with very low risk now. Let me see, the melds perspective and achieves 4. Now blockmonoid has to decide. It would be interesting to know what that 3 that tamesizeya has in hand is, if it were, for instance, paper, then the tamesizeya setup would be amazingly good, because it would bring to a lot of splay and a lot of draws. With paper, but it's a bit slow. So blockmonoids decide to draw. So it decided not to try his luck with alchemy. It's probably just going for... oh, okay, paper. So he plays the greens. Now he's drawing 1. This will be an interesting duel, because blockmonoid can get monument, and that's probably what he's going for, which will be achieved next round. But then he still needs 2 achievements, and with what is happening on tamesizeya's board, it is very possible that 5 will be achieved by tamesizeya. What is under potter tools? So now blockmonoid has to decide what... nah, he will probably draw again, I guess. Don't see much else that can be done, because then next move is double reformation, I guess, unless he decides there are some of those 4s can be useful. Like if he had gunpowder, he could score 5 points. And then, but I don't know, like alchemy and agriculture in this put, like he needs a 5 first, and like he could steal it from tamesizeya later, but I don't see. So my guess is a draw. And then like tamesizeya can withdraw 2 cards, one of which could be a 5. will be enough to. I mean, maybe blockmonoid is checking if there is a way to use tempo to achieve h5, but being he needs 10 points seems a bit hard. Probably unhappy to give 2 5s to tamesizeya. Don't see what else can be done. Like he could use archery to. It's basically like. So archery doesn't do anything. Alchemy is quite risky unless he has all the red cards in his hand. Because it would waste like a lot of draws. I mean, he could, if he really wants to kill an action, he could use Reformation just to play. But yeah, I don't see. Oh, okay. Decides to risk it. So he will score 1 card. And meld another one. So he melts gunpowder and score a card we have no information about. So I think tamesizeya is still okay, like he can use paper. Instead he decides to play first. This will give block 6 points. But probably he wanted more cards. Now if block had medicine, that would be an interesting. This would be a good moment to play it. I think I know that. No, it wouldn't be. No, it's not possible because it would be tied. So blockmonoid kills horse, but he doesn't have a 5, so he cannot achieve. Now he has to choose what to do. He could risk it again, and well, maybe it wasn't a risk before, but he could. I mean, we know he has printing press in his hand, so and fast movement towards 6 is an option. On the other hand, that makes monument for makes monument harder to achieve. So I mean, tamesizeya is behind on achievements, but like the board is. I mean, now he will draw a lot, and I mean, assuming that one of those three cards doesn't cover perspective or paper, he has a lot of options for the future, I think. But meanwhile, Block is considering what to do. So I would say the two options are mainly drawing and alchemy. I don't see many other. I mean, he could go agriculture, but it makes it harder to get to 5. I mean, he could return printing press, and then that would give it to tamesizeya. I mean, maybe a 4 he's not interested in. Just to slow things down, but next round of tamesizeya is more or less fixed. It has to be, well, not has to be, but like one would expect, melding a 5 and achieving. So in the end, Block decided to draw a 5. So it's possible the next time we will see. If tamesizeya had societies or astronomy, that would be a good moment to play it, because okay, it sacrifices philosophy, which can be sad, but it would sort of kill printing press being used. So now tamesizeya is sort of forced to meld and achieve, otherwise Block will do it. Now question is, so we must be thinking which card gives the better options. So like a red card would be nice, something like Call or Pirate Code. Personally, a purple would be also nice, something like Societies. I mean, astronomy would be maybe better, but so it's possible that he's stuck with like the not a huge fan of physics, but at this point Potter is not going to give much, so he opts for Pirate Code and he achieves. Now the question is, will Block wait more, or will he go for, so he goes for Monument and Splay. I mean, I presume this is Monument. I'm surprised that he decided not to use printing press, because at the moment he's a bit slow on the, like, tamesizeya will manage to score and draw very efficiently, because he can draw three cards and score 3 cards. He has to return 1, so potentially we are talking about 15 points in 1 round. So anatomy, machinery, and printing press were tucked. So now will be the remaining 3. chemistry. So we had to give up translation. This is very, like, a lot of the cards that he gave away were quite useful. The stuff that had been done with a heavy heart, I believe. Now he must be thinking how to get 2 more achievements. So possibly he must be thinking of Empire and Wonder, I guess, which makes getting rid of chemistry quite sad, and also translation. It of course depends how many crowns he has in his. Oof. Okay. So Wonder is not gonna happen, I believe, anytime soon. So 6 has just become Tamesizeya's card. It is unfortunate that paper was covered, so this makes perspective less effective. On the other hand, he could even use pottery. And yeah, actually personally I would do it. Like, block needs to find statistics quite quickly, otherwise Tamesizeya can run with this. But even that, like, perspective is pretty good card for putting cards back, and after a couple of uses of metric system, you could have six light bulbs again. Of course you lose something in the process, because you have to return 1 card. So block, draw a 5, and okay, so he used alchemy, and now an option is so melding physics. I mean, can be useful to. He has statistics. Okay. Okay. Then this. So Tamesizeya probably should. Yeah, I would say pottery. Pottery, return of 5. Get a 6. Which is like the best possible screen against statistics, to keep many cards in many different layers. Instead, he goes for perspective and achieves 6. Now block, it's a bit stuck, I would say. But also, given that metric systems is on Tamesizeya's board, it becomes quite hard to imagine how all this bias can be displayed. Also, he has needs 1 more card on green. So he draws. Of course, call could be useful, as it always is, because it could resurrect printing press. So he draws 2 5s. Now, question is, what will tamesizeya want to do? Does he want to find atomic theory? Does he want to splay? Does he want to? So he goes for astronomy. It was mildly dangerous in the sense that classification could cover a metric system. But so now he could meld machine tools, and he could obtain wonder by splaying everything, even though it is a lot of actions. Okay, so he decides to start by splaying green. Now block could so he draws a 5. Like more or less every move, unless at some point he will probably want to use statistics, but at the moment the only question is, does he draw, or does he meld something which we don't know, or does he use alchemy without basically to like of the 5s we haven't seen, there is call, which would help, I think. Measurements could be interesting to play the blues, but he doesn't have any blue card in hand, so he draws scanning. This is a way to get a lot of score, but monument is already taken, so, and I guess he doesn't want to get rid of statistics, so I would expect one of the other 5s would be played. So let's see, in society could be of some use. Call. Call to a rescue. Cunning gets. Okay. Now call is very fast at scoring, which blockmonoid doesn't really need at this point, but it also can get back some useful cards. So I would expect that at some point we will see printing press appearing again. Particularly if you could find something like emancipation, like using call and uncovering printing press and obtaining emancipation on the purple would be a way to get to age 8 very quickly. Like if I were tamesizeya, I would be a bit worried about that scenario. Or also democracy, I mean, any of the purple 6s. Because also in the process it would score like 4 plus 9, 5, 9 points. That's enough to achieve 7 and 8. So now tamesizeya. So personally, I believe this, what I said, has a problem in the sense that right now printing press would be shared, so it's not. I would still do it, but that would probably give h7 to tamesizeya. So a call would be shared, which actually might be a bonus or block, I think. Well, okay, makes it faster for tamesizeya to splay, but he will splay anyway. Yeah. Okay, he plays Steam Engine to gain the factory majority. And now I presume, okay, so we see call. I think alchemy will go. Because also that displays allows to display the blues, which will give him 2 extra light bulbs. This can be a way to get to 7 more quickly. Of course, he had to give up statistics, which he must have thought that he needed to. Like, he's probably trying to win more than he's trying not to lose, which can be a reasonable strategy. So tamesizeya now. I mean, if I were tamesizeya, I would try to think how to get 8 to h7 as quickly as possible. So he decides to share. Okay, this is an interesting approach. So he shares machine tools. So now he will have a 7 in hand. Now the only problem is, so blockmonoid can use call and hope for a purple. If he does, he achieves. And then it's really bad because printing press can be used and take it to h9. Or alternatively, he can decide to give up h7 and use Steam Engine and try to get a purple card as quickly as possible. So with blockmonoid's information, this is now essentially 20% chance of getting getting the achievements, and also it creates some small problem because it gets rid of one of the few castles he has, so Empire might be on very hard to get, but I mean you cannot guard everything on top of that. Tamesizeya doesn't have any castle, doesn't have enough castles, so Empire is not really contested at the moment. So okay, so block decides to he's trying to get wonder. Nice move. If he happens to have banking, then he can get nice. If at 5 is banking, he can get wonder. Now he's forcing Tamesizeya to choose between splaying and drawing. So he returned that 2 to draw a 7. He should have. I would have returned a 6. No, if. Yeah, I would have returned a 6. No, maybe not. The return F. No. Okay, play. Now Steam engine. I mean, that gives score, burns a few cards. Oof. Okay. So Empire is approaching on. If at 5 is really banking block, it's on the verge of winning, I think. And even without anything else, he can go to H9 and close it from there, most likely. Okay, there is only I think Tamesizeya should meld the 7 and achieve. Unless, yeah. If block has banking, that's quite an achievement. Also, it's very close to getting Empire 2. And as I mentioned, Tamesizeya doesn't have a castles. Yeah, I'm not sure there was anything he could do, but like the fact that block got railroad, sort of a last nail in the coffin, because now block has 3 different options. Okay, this Still not fast enough, I'm afraid. Very nice. Now tamesizeya should... Yeah, this is... There's no coming back from this, I'm afraid. Block just need one clock and it's over. And maybe he has... If in his hand he has, say, bicycle, he just melts it and use railroad. So tamesizeya is now not sure where is much that he can do. Okay, so he goes for drawing an 8. Maybe he's hoping in... Skyscrapers could save him if Pat 7 is not bicycle. If it is bicycle, it is all. Because then he could steal railroad, but even then, like, okay, antibiotics is not gonna cut it, I'm afraid. So let's see if block has a winning move now or not. If not, he can just use steam engine till he finds a clock somewhere. Actually, he has to win now because next move... Ooh, okay. So now he plays any of the colors with some castles. Could play like something between green, yellow, and purple. I would say green, but also he has the cards. Now the real question is if he got bicycle or not. If not, tamesizeya might have won. Wow. It's quite a game. Maybe he's considering how to get as many light bulbs as possible so that there is a chance to get... so assuming he doesn't found the clock he needs, can still hope to get the clock with astronomy if he has enough light bulbs. So that would suggest... yeah, cannot... cannot do both things. So if he, so it goes for yellow. No, does it? What cards are there with light bulbs in 7? Electricity, publication, evolution. Publication will also do it. He managed not to get any clocks. I mean, must have not drawn light bulb and publications and bicycle, otherwise he would just meld it, I guess. He could do it again. Let's play can use the railroad and then meld the cards in the order he wants, so that he's sure that Tamesizeya cannot activate astronomy. Nice. So my guess is railroad again, or actually maybe could have used steam engine. No, because he needs fun. I wonder if he had lighting in his hand, because then it would have been enough to use railroad to play the purple up and then use steam engine to get it underneath. I would be surprised if there is no way in which block can win this. Extremely surprised. Yes. So he's now he will play the blue up, I think. Because he needs to tie the light bulbs. At least. Unless there is something else. No? I missed something. Well, congratulations to Tamesizeya and also to Block. This was a very interesting game. I suspect Block could have won this, but maybe I will ask them during the interview. Thank you all for listening.